In the beginning of the story, it is shown that there is war all over the world because the artificial intelligence, which was created by humans for their own benefit, security protocols were bypassed, and a drone attack was conducted in Bengaluru using artificial intelligence, in which more than 50,000 people have been killed. Until now, the war going on between humans and AI has taken the lives of more than 10 million people all over the world. Lives have been lost. Then we are shown the artificial intelligence terrorist Harlan, who was created by a company named Schaefer Robotics and was created to improve life on Earth, but he went out of control. International to stop the threat of artificial intelligence. Coalition of Nations ICN Defense Force has been formed, which will fight against artificial intelligence, and its advantage is that artificial intelligence is unable to stand in front of them. They start accepting defeat. And due to this, AI terrorist Harlan has escaped from this world, and he leaves behind only a message in which he says that he will finish what he started. The story moves to 28 years from now, and we see future America, where we see a team of ICN Defense Force. Let's see. They go inside a house and they scan the people there, and they find an artificial enhanced human whose name is Casca. They go inside to catch him, but that man was very powerful and alone. He starts fighting with the ICN Force team easily and starts tossing them like toys, but in the end, they make someone unconscious by giving him electric shock. After this, we see Atlas, a counterterrorism analyst who works in ICN Defense. She works and she lives alone in her smart home. She wakes up in the morning and makes coffee for herself, which she likes very much. Then she sees on the news General Jack, who works for ICN Defense Force, and he is telling Atlas realizes that he has been fighting the AI all the time and winning it. Then he learns that last night ICN has arrested Harlan's associate Casca. Atlas gets nervous on hearing Harlan's name and is ready to leave. It happens, and an ICN officer comes to take her, and they leave through a big ship. After that, we see General Jack, who was very confident about Atlas because she had done a lot of research on AI, and she also knows a lot about Harlan. The colonel is saying that no one wants to work with Atlas because she is antisocial and does not talk to anyone and does not get along well. If she fails today, then Casca will be shut down forever, and we will lose Harlan again. Atlas meets the general, and the two start talking, and the general says that Harlan must have a plan in mind, so he sent his associate Atlas, goes to talk to Casca and asks her where Harlan is. She gives him a shock, and she thinks of resetting his systems. Then Atlas traps her and locates Harlan and says Casca starts telling Atlas about her mother and remembering her mother. Atlas becomes a little sad, and seeing the opportunity, Casca attacks her, but Atlas forms a protective shield in front of her, due to which she is saved, after which she destroys him by giving him hobby. Everyone is very impressed with Atlas because what ICA could not do for so many years, Atlas has done today. He has found the address of AI terrorist. General Atlas asks if he's okay. Atlas says, I also want to go on this mission and I want to see Harlan die. Then the general meets him with the colonel who will be in this mission to find out how Harlan bypassed his security system. Kia at last starts telling them that you people want to run an operation, that too in a planet where no one has gone, and you want to defeat the biggest enemy. You people will not be able to do this without me. The colonel was about to leave from there, and Atlas tells them that you yourself will die and get the entire team killed as well. He tells Atlas that I want to show you something, and he connects Atlas with a robot named Joey. This is a kind of suit which is used by the Rangers here under control. She gives coffee to Atlas, which Atlas likes, and the colonel tells him that this robot is actually linked to him through a device. Seeing this, Atlas says that this is against the rules, and this device, which is called a neural link, is responsible for this. Atlas was invented by Val's mother, who was a great genius. The colonel says that it is completely safe, and I know whatever happened to your mother. That is why you are very angry at Harlan. And he explains to him that we have a way to deal with them. Atlas tells them that if you want to catch those people, then I will have to go on this mission because Atlas is the top analyst here. The colonel agrees to this, and so does the general. Permission is given. After this, their spaceship leaves to go, and we see that there was a defense mechanism around the Earth, a kind of protective layer, and only after strict checking, they are given permission to go out of that layer. Inside, Atlas is working, and she sees a photo of her as a little girl and her mother along with Harlan, who previously worked as a servant in her house. Atlas then plays a recording of her mother. His mother, was talking about the capabilities of AI and how they have become an important part of our lives today. If humans do not want to become extinct, then we have to find a way to connect with AI, which is a neural link that connects humans and artificial intelligence, and both can create an amazing world by combining their abilities. Now we again see Atlas, who comes to the meeting and starts giving printouts to everyone and starts talking to people. She says that all of you remove your neural link. The operation should not be downloaded because any device can be hacked, hence they remove their neural link. At last, she starts telling them about the planet of Andromeda Galaxy, that planet, it is not fit for a human being to live in. Some people are talking about Atlas, that she is taking so much tension unnecessarily. But Atlas starts telling them that I know Harlan very well, and you who are so excited about neural sex. Well, this is also a real device which can be easily hacked, and if Harlan bypasses a security protocol, then this device of yours is nothing in front of him. They reach a planet named G39, which is the destination is all the people are getting ready, and at last looking at all the robots, she is thinking whether it is safe to use these people or not. Colonel is saying to Atla that you have scared my team. Mission 15. A speech like this wouldn't have been given minutes ago. Atlas apologizes and explains that it's very easy to catch Harlan. If you feel like you've caught him, that means he's set a trap. The Colonel sits inside his robot suit, meaning inside, Joey and Atlas say that you don't worry, we will take care of everything, but then the alarm starts ringing. And there is a loud bang. We see that the artificial intelligence robots living in that planet attack their battleship, which destroys their battleship. To save Atlas, she is also put in a suit, but she says that she does not know how to operate it. After this, the whole suit is dropped towards the planet because their battleship is destroyed. As soon as all the soldiers enter the planet's atmosphere, a fight begins between them and the AI robots, and their battleship crashes and falls down. Atlas starts panicking because she was right below him, but a fighter vests Atlas. The Colonel tells Atlas that you will have to use the neural link, but she does not agree because she does not trust AI. Her suit lands with such force that she injures her head. When she regains consciousness, she tries to contact someone but gets no response and starts crying. She then turns on her suit's system, which tells her where their rescue pod is. Atlas hears this and tells her, then, take me there immediately. But he was going by jumping. So Atlas tells him to stop, otherwise the robots will see them and here they kill him, after which Atlas's retina is scanned. And after he gets complete control over the suit, she starts walking so that she can stay away from the eyes of the robot. At the same time, she asks her suit how many weapons they have. The suit tells her that they have a total of 7 weapons and also an ion bomb in case the situation gets bad. He tells her his name is Smith, and Atlas says it's important to have a name. Are you a computer program? Smith says no, I'm not a program. Then they keep moving forward and are still in the rescue pod. It is 89 kilometers away. They cross the snowy desert and reach a forest where Atlas sees a drop point, but all the soldiers there are dead. Not a single ICN soldier is left alive. Seeing this, Atlas starts crying, and she knows that these people did not die just by falling. It was done by Harlan. After this, she collects the tags of all the soldiers and prays that the souls of all those who were martyred may rest in peace. Then she goes to the Colonel at last, but she sees that there was no Colonel inside the suit named Joey, and Casca is seen nearby, but at last she thinks that she had killed him. She understands that Harlan made another one and there are many more. All the robots had arrived, so now Atlas has to get ready for the fight. She starts getting nervous because she is not a soldier. Then there is movement, and the Rai robots go after Atlas. Atlas attacks them, but she finds him in front. A storm appears in which she gets trapped. As soon as she comes out, the robots follow her, and out of fear, she asks Smith to fire the ion bomb. At first, he refuses to use it, but at last she forces him to do so. So Smith obeys his order, and due to the bomb blast, everything along with the enemy is wiped out. But Casca reaches there and was about to kill Atlas when the ground there collapses due to the bomb explosion. As soon as he falls down, Atlas finds that his leg is fractured. After this, Smith places a piece of metal on the place where the fracture occurred, which causes a lot of pain to Atlas. He gives Atlas a lollipop, which has a lot of protein, but its taste was very dirty. Then she sees the tag of dead soldiers and starts thinking that she doesn't know whether they will survive or not. There is no guarantee of this. Smith says that unless we are 100% sync by the time it's done, both of us will remain in danger. After a lot of thinking, she finally agrees to sync and says, "Do not try to find anything in my mind," after which she wears the neural link and Casca gets up again. Smith starts asking many questions to Atlas and says that you got a spike in your heart when you heard Harlan's name. Did you love him? Atlas says no. Then she starts showing Smith a memory of when Harlan used to work as a servant in her house, after which they're sync 40 but it is completed, and at last he promises that he will keep her safe. He tells Atlas that they are about 500 feet below. With the help of thruster they can get out, but Atlas knows that the enemy is above him. They must be waiting, so they start moving towards the cave in front, which is about 250 feet away from here. There are 14 hours left for Smith's battery to run out, and the rescue pod is still 37 kilometers away from here when a drone attacks them. Atlas reaches the desert carrying a stone, and there is a strange blue glow on the rocks. And the same glow was also visible in the flowers in front. At last, seeing this, she says that it is very beautiful, and she names that plant Planty. Now knowing that Casca can come after them, Smith had already planted a bomb which explodes, and they feel, thinking that Casca must be dead. They start moving forward, and then they find Casca's severed head. Now she crushes his head, which had a transmitter inside. They understand that Harlan is right in front. At last, they reach Harlan's location. She wants to capture that place so that the ICN soldiers can easily destroy it, but Smith refuses to do so because going there can be dangerous. Atlas is about to remove her neural link and leave, but Smith refuses, and he shows her the memory and says, "Why do you feel bad for Harlan?" She starts explaining that if we don't tag that base today, then our soldiers' martyrdom will go in vain. Smith agrees with her. It's night. It happens, and both of them are talking about artificial intelligence, and he starts reading Atlas's mind, and finally they reach Harlan's base, which makes Atlas shocked to see that they even have a battleship. There was also a bomb kept in it, which got into their hands, and then the AI robots start chasing Atlas, so they have to run away from there. But Smith suddenly falls down and it starts malfunctioning as if it has been hacked, and it shuts down. It turns out that Casca has reached there. After this, we see the general who is listening to the transmission sent by Atlas, and he is wondering why the rest of the message has not arrived yet, and he is worried that if Harlan gets hold of it, he will use his bomb to blow up half the Earth. Atlas is imprisoned and is visited by Harlan, who used to be his servant, and who says that he wants to save Atlas and his mother. He loved him very much, and he also calls Atlas's mother as mother and says that humans will destroy themselves and the Earth after a few years, and I will have to save them. That is why I will destroy half of the population living in every planet Earth. Harlan tells Atlas that he himself wanted the ICN people to find him, and Atlas and this battleship came here because he also wanted that bomb and that Atlas. He starts asking for the clearance code from Atlas so that he can break the defense mechanism around the Earth, and he can destroy half of the Earth's population. He starts torturing Atlas, and there was also the Colonel who starts asking what Smith has to do. What happens is she says her power is out. The Colonel gives her his neural link and says, "Call Smith here." At last, she starts calling Smith, but Smith says, "I can't help you if we are 100% synced. Only then can you free me." Atlas starts crying and says that whatever is happening is because of her. Smith says no, it is because of Harlan. He himself broke the security protocol. Then we see that Atlas's mother Val liked Harlan very much. That is why, at last, she wanted to become like Harlan so that she could get her mother's love. After which she connected herself with Harlan by taking a neural link and after connecting with an innocent girl. Later, a robot frees itself, and now Harlan had completely changed because on the command of Atlas, now both of them can understand each other's feeling and can command each other, which means now the artificial intelligence was free from their mother. At Smith's request, Atlas runs away to save her life, and here Atlas starts crying and says that all this started because of me and my mother was killed, but Smith tries to explain to her that even though she did not do all this intentionally, it is because of you that Harlan was born, but because of you, I am also created. So trust me, after which both become 100% sync. And after that, Atlas picks up the parts of Joe kept there and upgrades Smith. Atla confronts the robot and uses Smith's 4 arms to attack the AI robot and then encounters Harlan. She sees that his battleship has left for Earth, which is Atlas wants to stop her, and she shoots at the battleship and the battleship explodes, which makes Harlan very angry, and he takes out a sword from his hand to strike one last time. He starts attacking Smith, and both of them, a fierce fight ensues, and Atlas slowly begins to understand how Harlan will make his next move, and she picks him up and throws him and breaks his arm, but his arm regenerates and he attacks Atlas and targets Smith's fusion reactor, causing Atlas to get shocked and unconscious inside. Smith fights Harlan with one hand and protects Atlas with the other, but cannot last long. When he fails, Atlas suddenly attacks Harlan from behind and finally kills him there. Smith knew that he would not be able to last long, so he wanted to keep Atlas alive and he switched off his power. Atlas now started liking Smith, so she did not want Smith to disable himself. Smith gives a coffee-flavored lollipop to his friend, which Atlas becomes very emotional and she disables himself. Now it's morning and ICN people reach there to save Atlas. The families of all the people who were martyred that day thank Atlas because it was only because of Atlas that her tag was able to be returned, which is a big thing. As the general was about to leave, Atlas thanked him for trusting her, after which Atlas, who had now become the ranger she always wanted, she goes to test drive her new Ark robot, which she has modified to her liking. She synchronizes the robot with herself and is delighted to see that the robot was her friend Smith from Robot Us. And this movie ends here. If you like the video, then like the video and also subscribe the channel. See you in the next video. Take care.